We are carrying on our study in the Gospel of Matthew, and in this study, we are going to look at chapter 1 and verse 19 of Matthew. Her husband Joseph, being a righteous man and unwilling to expose her to public disgrace, planned to dismiss her quietly. In the story of Jesus, the mysterious figure is Joseph. We know who he is, but we really do not know who he was. Mary, the mother of Jesus, becomes in certain Christian circles or traditions a major focus of the faith. The veneration of Mary in the history of the Christian church will at times take on, from a Protestant perspective, idolatrous forms. Mary is not to be forgotten because of this misuse and abuse. Mary was a great person of faith. Joseph was also a man of faith. Joseph, though, never assumes the position Mary does. Joseph only appears early in the story of Jesus. Joseph does not appear in the adult years of Jesus. This makes it likely that Joseph was dead when Jesus began his ministry. The fact may partly explain why Jesus was about 30, according to Luke chapter 3 and verse 23, about 30 years old when he began his ministry. If Joseph died early, then Jesus, as the eldest son, would have had responsibility to help in providing for his family. Mary would outlive Jesus. The last biblical record we have of Mary is found in Acts chapter 1, verse 14. She is a part of a group that is gathering together in preparation for Pentecost. There are no certain historical records of where or when she died. What we can say of who and what Joseph was is largely determined by his association with the birth of Jesus. Now, that in no way is to say that he is an unimportant figure in the story of salvation. Joseph is great in the story of salvation, but his greatness is not of the same sort as Mary. Joseph is in the shadows. Even in the church, we equate greatness with wonderful, magnificent, and showy happenings. You know what Joseph did? He committed his life to God to be used as he saw fit, and then ended up in an obscure village, Nazareth, making a living so he could provide for a family of at least 7. Why do I say 7? Luke chapter 13, verses 55 and 56 says that Jesus had 4 brothers and sisters. That means at least 7, if not more. Joseph, the person, bequeaths to Jesus a model of fidelity to one's vocation and life. I understand to a degree the veneration shown to Mary, but not so much the ignoring of the life of Joseph. I tend to think that Joseph represents a model of faith and faithfulness that is relevant for most believers in Christ. We are not called to go, but called where we are to live out our faith. In the discharge and duties of the monotony of everyday life, we are to live out the faith. In a family of 7 children, that means a whole lot of diapers, or a whole lot of times taking a child aside on one's knee and reassuring them that everything is going to be well, or a whole lot of times going over with a child the basics of faith and of who God is. Joseph, in ways that we are not told nor can recover, imparted to his family the realities of the faith. Now we know this to be the case for his eldest son, who he was not just because he was the Son of God, but because he was also raised as a son of Joseph.